How's it going, guys and gals? This is Anthony, and today we're back at it with a new predictions video. This time for Evolution. I decided to do this video on a Saturday afternoon. This is gonna be posted a couple of hours before Great American Bash, I hope. So stay tuned because today, Saturday, is a busy day. We have All In, we have Great American Bash, we have Saturday night's main event, and I'm gonna be watching them all. I don't know how, but I will. So, um, 7 years after the first Evolution pay-per-view main evented by Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella, here's Evolution 2. Obviously, women from all three brands will be participating in this pay-per-view. So, if you like this type of content, like predictions and reviews and gameplays, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. First off, we have the Evolution Battle Royale, where the winner will get a championship match at Clash in Paris against the champion of the respective brands. So if someone from NXT wins, they get an NXT Women's Championship match on Clash at Paris. If someone from SmackDown wins, they get a WWE Women's Championship match. And if someone from Raw wins, they will earn a Women's World Championship match at Clash in Paris, obviously. Excuse me right now. I'm checking on my tablet the participants because I forgot to look at it. But as of right now, 24 ladies have been announced. And I think it's going to be like 30 ladies. So a 30 woman battle royale. Let's see how that plays out. It's going to be obviously in Atlanta, Georgia, Cody's hometown. By the way, while I search here, all the obviously this match was put in the show the because of the Liv Morgan injury. Because if you guys remember, the original plan was Raquel and Liv to defend the women's tag team titles against the Bella Twins. But obviously, the Liv Morgan dislocated shoulder injury has left the company to rewrite the entire show. So this was the match that I'm not gonna blame them for the situation with Liv Morgan because this match was done on the spot because of the Liv Morgan situation. So those plans are gone. So that will never have a resolution. As of right now, the women's battle royale. Let's check here. It's Stephanie Baker, Ivy Nile, Nia Jax, Nikki Bella, Natalia Maxine Dupri, Kelani Jordan, Jayla Parker, Lola Bice, Lash Legend, EC Dame, Tatum Paxley, Selena Vega, Julia, Candice LeRae, BFAB, Michin, Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, and Alba Fire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we've got 20 women. Like, they may add like a couple surprises here and there. Maybe a Michelle McCool comes in, maybe an AJ Lee. Because just because of the pop, do I think it's gonna happen? No, but we also hear rumors about like Picky Guerrero. Uh, the last few days arriving to Atlanta, so we need to see where that goes. I mean, man, if it was for me, I would give Bagger the victory. But I kind of feel that in a way, I don't care if I get hate in the comments below. If someone comments because of what I'm about to say, I don't care. But I think Nikki Bella got fucked over because of the Liv Morgan angle. And she has to pay child support. So we need to support a fighting mother. So obviously, I think Nikki Bella's gonna win, and she's gonna get a big paycheck for Clash in Paris. And since she's a free agent, so to speak, she can challenge any of the three champions. And on 2018, I really liked the match that she had with Ronda. I thought it was decent because I always thought that of the two twins, I was always of the belief that Nikki was the better of the two. They pushed the correct twin. I've always said it, and I'll say it again. So I think because of the situation, um, Nikki deserves it in some type of way. So I'm gonna go with Nikki Bella to win the battle royal. Next up, we've got a WrestleMania rematch. Jay Cargill versus Miss Money in the Bank Naomi. I think this is pretty easy to predict. These two have been feuding since Jay came back at the chamber. This angle has been gone on for 8 months, and obviously, I think this is like a three match feud. So we already got the first one on Mania where Jade won. I mean, Bianca Bianca Belair is out injured, so I don't know how she may be integrated into this angle because I think she will be. But I think at the end, Naomi wins, gets her win back, and we get the blow off at SummerSlam, which I have to admit I was mistaken because the last couple of months I've been because on the time leading up to WrestleMania before Bianca got injured, I was of the belief that they're gonna do Bianca and Jade on SummerSlam with Cardi B as the special guest referee, which I think Cardi B will be involved, and she has to be the special guest referee. I don't care what anybody says. She has to be a special guest referee. If we get a third match between Jade Cargill and Naomi, she has to be. No ifs or whats. She has to be. But since we're gonna get a third match because I think Naomi's gonna win, so now we got the NXT match on the show. Obviously today on the Great American Bash, obviously JC Jane and Fallon Henley will be teaming up against Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe. So something has to happen on that show where they do like an injury angle and Jordan Grace goes injured into Evolution because that shows a fighting babyface fighting 2 days in a row, makes them sympathetic and stuff. So I think I'm gonna start prediction for Great American Bash here. I think Fallon and JC win on Great American Bash because this is Jordan Grace's night. Jordan Grace will win the NXT Women's title. That's my prediction. JC Jane will win the NXT Women's Championship. Jordan Grace will beat JC Jane, as you may know, won the title against Stephanie Baker in Steph's last NXT match. And ever since then, it's been screaming transitional champion. And also, it's a shame that Blake Monroe is not on the show. Maybe she'll make a run in to like even the odds against so that way Fallon doesn't interfere. But then again, Blake can fight off Fallon, but then there's Jasmine Nix. Jasmine Nix could be the X factor here to help JC retain. I think this one on paper this is like the one of the most unpredictable matches on the show. Even though I think that Jordan Grace may win, I think Jasmine Nix could could cost Jordan the match. Just like Solo Sikoa costing Cody on WrestleMania 39 because obviously Cody and Roman they cancel each other out. The Usos were fighting with KO and Sammy, but no one was fighting with Solo. So that's what led to Solo interfering and costing Cody the match. So I think they need one more. Who could it be? And I think this is where you could bring in a legend to help Jordan win. But if you don't have a legend here, that opens the door for JC to retain the title and being champion until un- until like I don't know, like Halloween Havoc, maybe. I don't know, but I really, even though I think I'm just gonna lock it in. Jordan wins, but also we need to take into account the dissension between that they're starting to build between Fallon and JC. Because as you may know, Fallon was always the leader of Fatal Influence. But ever since JC won the title, Fallon has become the leader, has become the lackey. And that is something that knowing Sean, he's not gonna explode that moment on a premium live event. He may blow it on NXT weekly TV. So even though I locked in Jordan winning, there's any scenario where I could see JC retaining, and I wouldn't complain. JC and Priscilla Kelly were my were my workhorses. They were my dark horses on NXT. And even though Priscilla, got released, I still have faith on JC to make it to the top. You can do it, girl. You can do it. Next up, we have the Fatal 4-Way match for the women's tag team titles. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez defend against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte from SmackDown, Saria and Sol Ruka from NXT, Kairi Sane and Asuka from Raw. And obviously, this match was originally supposed to be Raquel and Liv defending against the Bella Twins. So they added two matches because one got canceled because of a legitimate injury. I think, and as we know, the original plan was for the Bellas to win the tag team titles. Does Triple H keep that plan going? Because the original plan at Evolution was gonna be the Bellas defeating Liv and Raquel, and then SummerSlam was gonna be was gonna be um Raquel and Finn versus Liv and Dominic. So is that still the plan? But instead of Raquel, it's Liv. How do they be? Because we've known for almost a year now that the last 10 months of Dominic's booking have been building up to his eventual face turn. So we are like in Paul Heyman terms, we are in the seventh inning of the Dominic Mysterio face turn. We are on the seventh inning of the Dominic Mysterio face turn process. So what could they do here? Because they've been doing this angle with Alexa and Charlotte on SmackDown. Obviously, Saria and Soruka are not gonna win the titles because they are from NXT, which if you're gonna have them here, just bring back the NXT Women's Tag Team titles then. Just bring those titles back if no be because we know that the NXT team is not gonna win, so makes it a little bit unpredictable. Like, bring back the NXT Women's Tag Team titles then. I mean, you unify them where where Ronda and Shayna beat Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. You unify those titles. I don't know why. You could have had Alba and Isla losing on NXT, but I understand the reason was you wanted to introduce the women's North American title. But still, it's stupid because if no NXT team is gonna win those titles, then why have them fight for it? You know what I mean? Like, at some point, it's like, oh, an NXT team, we don't care. Like, Sean should talk to management and say, hey, dude, bring back the NXT Women's Tag Team titles, man. Like, my Women's Tag Team division is being meant to look like garbage. But still, they're not going to win because obviously the long term plan, it appears to be that Soruga gets betrayed by Saria. So obviously they're not going to win. Although them being the champions helps boost that angle. But obviously they're not going to do it. Um, I think the angle with Charlotte and Alexa could be them be having the tag team titles could help that. Obviously, Asuka and Kyrie. Obviously, the last couple of weeks we've had the thesis of maybe Asuka versus Io at SummerSlam. So I don't just by that I don't see them winning unless that's a red herring and they give the Kabuki Warriors the titles. Could be. I could also see Asuka going heel in this show and turning on Kyrie because you could literally do the Judgment Day plans you had with Roxanne in the Liv Morgan position. You know what I mean? Like, but instead of Dominic and Rhea, I mean, not Dominic and Rhea, sorry, but Dominic and Roxanne being the baby faces, Raquel and Finn could be the baby faces. So that way, when Roxanne gets her comeuppance from Liv, when Liv comes back, it could work and help Dominic open his eyes and be like, "What the hell is this midget doing? This midget Roxanne doing?" So I could actually see that happening. But hey, I may be wrong, but I don't care. Predictions are supposed to be fun, fantasy book and stuff. Don't take them seriously. But I think I we have new tag team champions here because you could do the Judgment Day plans with Roxanne in the Liv Morgan position. I think Charlotte and Alexa win the titles because storyline wise, they are the ones that get the most benefit out of having the titles. And besides, Charlotte has only had the titles once before, and it was with Asuka in during the pandemic in 2020. And I really like their reign. So I think Charlotte once again being in the women's tag team division helps her refresh herself being away from the women's title picture for a while, just like it helped Bianca Belair be out of the title picture for all of 2024 while she was women's tag team champion alongside Jay Cargill at one point and then in another point alongside Naomi. So I really have I really think it could help both of them. So I think we have new champions in Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I mean, this match, we know the history. We know what happened on Backlash. We know what happened on Money in the Bank. We know the reasons Becky was Bailey's replacement on WrestleMania 41 in that match for the women's tag team titles. Becky Lynch defends the title against Lyra Valkyria and Bailey in a triple threat match for the women's IC title. Becky obviously won the title on Money in the Bank. Lyra had to raise her hand, and Lyra beat the hell out of her, but also Bailey got back from the attack she suffered from Becky before WrestleMania 41. Lyra and Bailey had a match to determine the number one contender. It ended in a no contest. Therefore, both of them were added into the match. I think there's no title change here. I think Becky retains. And I'm going to say something like, obviously, Becky Lynch turned heel just for this feud because I really think that she's going to turn babyface after she loses the title, just like she did in 2022. She lost the title, and then a couple of months later, she went back to being a babyface. So I really think it's gonna happen here, but I do not think she's gonna lose the title on Evolution because, as I've said on multiple occasions, on the road to WrestleMania, they sacrificed WrestleMania to make SummerSlam the biggest show this year. For some reason, they sacrificed WrestleMania's quality to make SummerSlam 2025 in their mind the greatest SummerSlam of all time. Which SummerSlam 1991, 2002, 2008, and 2013 are my top four of greatest SummerSlams of all time. Either from a storyline perspective and a pay-per-view quality perspective and match quality. Those are the four best SummerSlams of all time. In any particular order, I don't care, but that is the top four. Could they live up to the hype they have in their own mind that SummerSlam 2025 will be better than those four? I don't know. But I think Becky is holding the title until SummerSlam. Next up, we have Trish Stratus challenging Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. I think, Trish is just here to put over Tiffany. And obviously, we thought this match was going to happen maybe at the Chamber. Obviously, they teamed up in Elimination Chamber to go against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Tiffany and Trish won that match in Toronto, and now we have them on opposite sides. I think Tiffany's gonna win. I think there's no question about it. Tiffany wins. It adds a big name to her list of opponents that she's defeated. She's defeated Nia Jax. She's defeated Charlotte. Now you can add Trish Stratus to the equation. She's defeated Becky Lynch. No, wait. Becky Lynch beat her. My bad. Becky Lynch defeated Tiffany. My bad. Both times they face off against each other. Becky won. I really apologize on that mistake. But you look at the names that she's faced, it's like, oh, a legend into her resume, And she's only like what, 25, 26? She's only like 2 years older than me because I'm 24 and she's 26. Like, they are really establishing Tiffany Stratton as the face of the women's division on the babyface side, because we know on the heel side it's already Nia Jax. It's Tiffany and Rhea. Those are your two top baby faces on the women's division. And it kind of feels like they're starting to face out Bianca Belair. Maybe a heel turn. Who knows? And now we're here in the. Oops, sorry. And now we are here in the main event for the Women's World Championship. Io Sky defends against Mommy Rhea Ripley. Obviously, we know on the after Elimination Chamber, Rhea Ripley lost the Women's World Championship against Io Sky because she got distracted by Bianca Belair cheering Io, and she got mad about it. Obviously, that led to the triple threat match at WrestleMania 41, an excellent match where where the out outcome was pretty clear at the time. I knew that Bianca was gonna be the one to hit the pin, obviously. So they did that, and obviously Bianca dislocated her finger, and she's been out since. We don't know when she's gonna come back. Maybe for SummerSlam. Who knows? So who do I think is gonna win? Because I think people are thinking that Rhea's gonna win here, but I think they could do a WrestleMania 39 on us, and someone screws Rhea Ripley without Io noticing. Because if I'm not mistaken, on one-on-one matches, Io is 3-0 against Rhea Ripley. So you could say, Rhea will finally beat her. Will finally defeat Io, but I could also see, like the streak continues. And if you really think about it, the women's division is in need of a heel. So maybe frustration starts to build in for an eventual Rhea Ripley heel turn. Who knows? And as I always say, they're not gonna turn in heel. I'm just having fun. Like she is the golden goose in the women's division. Obviously, she's not gonna go heel. But I'm just saying that they are doing ever since she lost the title, this storyline where Rhea gets her emotions get the best of her, and that's why she gets frustrated when she fails to win the title because she is not able to control her emotions. So I think the story for this match could be, will she be able to control her emotions? And I think she will, but fail. I think Io Sky retains the Women's World Championship and goes to SummerSlam against Asuka. Because if you guys remember, the draft is on the SmackDown after. The draft will be on the Raw after SummerSlam. We're gonna have the draft. They haven't announced it yet, but that's been the rumor since WrestleMania. The Raw after SummerSlam, we will have the WWE draft. So maybe if Rhea loses here, maybe Rhea will go to SmackDown. Maybe, who knows? Like, we also need to think about that some booking decisions that we may not understand right now may have to do with the draft. I think the only match that will not be affected by the draft will be the women's tag team title match because, as we know, the women's tag team titles float between all three shows. So those titles are unaffected, whatever the outcome. So I think that's gonna be it, guys. And that's gonna be it for this video. Remember, if you like this type of content, oh, if you like this type of content, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as I always say, share these beautiful moments with your families, create beautiful memories because life's too short, but those memories last a lifetime. As always, this is Anthony signing off. Bye bye.